The king and his men stole the queen from her bed and bound her in her bones. The seas be ours, and by the waters where we will roam.
My brothers and my sisters, welcome home to our kingdom on this Monday. Welcome home, my friends. I hope you have all had a wonderful start to your week, and I hope that you are trying to get just a little bit better this week than you were last week. My brothers and sisters, as we do at the start of any of our gatherings here in this kingdom, I say to you, Skull, welcome home. Oh shit, what have I done? What have I done? Stand by. Fucked everything up. Hold on. Alright, we're fine. We did it. Everything's fine, my friends. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Over the top, Quelden, how are you, my friends? How are you? Oh, don't mind me. Still getting over whatever the hell I've been dealing with the last. Seems like forever. Seems like forever. Seems like forever we've been dealing with this shit. Tonight we welcome to our kingdom our brother Dantastic to speak on behalf of all things therapy and therapy related. He'll be joining us in about 15 to 20 minutes. Jesus Christ. I was fine until I started talking. Everything was going great and then I started talking. We're gonna put this back over here. I don't like it on the right side. Not a fan. Not a fan. What's going on, Quelden? I'm doing good. How about you? Doing good. We have a lot that we need to get done this week. The big celebration day on Friday. Big celebration day. Did you try to shovel the snow today, or did you snowplow it? Because that was ridiculous. That was probably some of the heaviest snow I've ever had to try to shovel in my life. It fucking sucked. How's it going, Divine? How's it going, the Raven? Even the snowblower though, it was so heavy, like you had to go so fucking slow for it to be able to churn it out. I'm doing great, thank you, Divine. I'm doing great, thank you. Yes. Usually the snowblower I can get it done really quick. But I literally had to stop like every foot so I could churn out everything. I did it pretty early in the day though, so I guess it wasn't too early, but I hadn't quite gotten to like this soggy mesh that it's probably at right now. I was thinking about ways that we could do tonight's interview. I was like, man, we get him to come in here and just... Yeah, it was great for snowball fights. Snowball fights or snowman building. We got snow yesterday, and then today we got a shit ton of rain. So the snow is gone. It was shitty earlier today. And we're supposed to get that tomorrow. We're supposed to get that tomorrow. We'll see if it actually happens. We'll see if it actually happens, but you never know. It was a good piss pounding of snow though. We probably got 1.5 foot out there. Maybe a little bit more. But the most important thing is it's warm enough so it doesn't freeze on the streets. That's the most important thing. I don't care if it snows, but when it snows and it makes the roads shitty, then I have a problem. Then I have a problem. Then I hibernate. Then we go into hibernation mode. It was slick out this morning, was it? I guess I didn't drive today, so I fucking wouldn't know. It looked like it was all melted when I was out there snowblowing and shoveling, but... How's it going, Brunette? Happy end to Monday. We're on to Tuesday. Didn't get that much, only a few inches, and then it was warmer today, so it got slushy this morning, and now it's just gone. Man, I hope all this shit's gone by the end of the week. That'd make me very happy. That'd make me very happy. However, I do feel like I missed out on a video opportunity when it was snowing. I'll have to wait another year. I'll have to wait another year. I think the roads were covered until like around noon today. Well, that would explain it, because I didn't go outside until noon. That would explain it. Viking Snow Angels, we could have done a lot of things. There's a lot of content potential there. Could have gotten some good pictures. I would have actually been able to dress in my full get-up and not fucking die to heat stroke. It would have been great. Missed opportunity. April snow makes me very angry. I agree. I live in a state though where April snow doesn't mean shit. Fuck May snow. May snow can even get dicey. Good got 2 goblets for $10 yesterday that I should get at least $300 for. You talk about turning a profit. Pretty good fucking profit. Are we saying 300 each, or are we saying combined 300? So we're talking like a 15% profit on each one. Not 15, 150%. Sorry. Wait, what is that's way higher than that. Percentages, I'm a Viking. My math isn't very good. My kid's birthday is April 6th, and while I was in the hospital, it snowed. My feet were swollen from sitting in the hospital bed, and I could only wear slides in the snow with a newborn. That's a good reason that's a good reason to hate snow in April. Combined 300, I'm selling them as a 2-piece set. I put them on auction, so we will see. Do you do most of your stuff through auction, or do you sell like straight up more often than not and then put certain things on auction? Also, if it doesn't get to a money amount that you want, can you not sell it for what it goes for on auction? Like, can you back out? Slides in the snow with a newborn. That sounds like something straight out of a TV show. It's starting bidding at 300 so I can get what I want. That's perfect. Thunder snow? What the hell does that mean? Did you guys get... Did they get like an actual thunderstorm on top of snow? I don't know if I've ever lived through one of those. What the hell? Lightning and thunder along with snow? That would be quite scenic. That's what the TV said. What the hell? Now we're talking about great filming. Great filming. That's something that you can only fucking do in CGI. Snowing while it's thundering and lightning in the background? That is hardcore. Damn it! Another missed opportunity. Another fucking missed opportunity. That's cool. I'm gonna have to look up videos for that. Also, as you guys can see, we have our countdown to our 1-year anniversary here on Kick. 1 year since this kingdom has been created will be this coming Friday. Also, is it time to reveal who our guest is for our Friday's Hour of Reckoning on a very special day? Would you guys like to see who the guest is? Would you like to see who our guest will be? Friday on our 1-year anniversary. Don't all jump out of your seats and say yes. Do not. CEO of Kick? That would be legit. Now that I think about it, it would have been so fucking cool to have asked Santa Maria to do it. Maybe we'll get him on in a different one. Eddie doesn't know who I am though. Eddie doesn't know who I am. Alright, so our guest. Oh, he knows? I don't think he does. I don't think he does. Alright, here we go. That was the worst drum roll I've ever seen in my life. Our guest this Friday for our 1-year anniversary of the kingdom here on Kick will be no other than yes, our girl Professor will be joining us this Friday on the Hour of Reckoning. She'll be joining us this Friday on the Hour of Reckoning. She will get the joy of being put on the hot seat on such a day. Should be fun. It should be a fun one. Where is this? We'll keep that up in the corner. It should be a banger though. It should be a banger. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. When she agreed to do it, I said, "Do you have an open weekend?" And she said, "What about this coming weekend?" I was like, I so happen to be available. And it's also a 1-year anniversary. It's gonna be a party, my friends. It's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a party. Right, I agree. I agree. What does that look on here? You actually... you can see it. Okay. Want to make sure. Yeah, she's a lot of fun. She's a good vibe. She'll be a great guest. She'll be a great guest. How's it going, Twisty? Yeah, it's a party. This Friday. Right here. We will get Professor into the hour of reckoning. We will play chat games. We'll do like Jackbox Party. Fucking we'll do Period Paint Simulator. I'll hire a tattoo artist. We'll get the tattoo done live on stream. It'll be great. It'll be great. That would be pretty wild. How's it going, Coco? How's it going, brother? You got to hear the workout stream, but you didn't get to see it. How did it sound? How did it sound? Did it sound great? Did it sound like I was working hard? And that's the most important thing. As long as I sounded like I was working hard. Sounded good, but Bach was dying over it. It's not so like. Thank you. It's funny because a lot of people come through the channel and they think what I'm doing is easy because we're not throwing around, you know, hundreds of pounds and stuff like that. And they look at it, they're like, oh, this is the easiest fucking workout I've ever seen. Why are you streaming this and stuff like that? And I challenge everyone, as somebody who only used to lift weights and did not used to do, you know, volume repetition and stuff like that. I challenge anyone who thinks that my workouts are easy to join me and see how you fare. Once you've done one, have at it. Have at it. You can call me, you can say whatever you want about it, but until you've done it, shut your mouth. Bodyweight workout can be killer, and it wasn't even all bodyweight today. Today, we had 2 bags of shit, literal bags of shit, aka fertilizer. We were doing curls with them. We had fire logs, and we were doing lateral and forward raises. We had a 4-gallon bucket of paint, and we were doing rows with them. Challenge anyone. Come join us. See what happens. Do the workout on your own, even if you can't do it at the time that I stream it. Watch it back. It was a good time. That's every morning though. One of these days when you don't have to work, you'll have to give it a try. You'll have to give it a try one of these days when you're not working. But raiding season, my friends, it's right around the corner. That's a good workout. That's a good workout, Brunette. That's a good workout. Yes. Yes, we do well this week. This week I'm gonna be busy Wednesday morning. But this week we're doing it today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. The Thursday would be our upper body, so it'll be a lot of the same stuff we did today. A little bit different variation. But yeah. It's a weird time, so like I haven't been consistent as far as the time goes. So we're keeping it to 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. I don't know if my sissy arms can handle bags of fertilizer. Well, then you use what you can. The idea is that the whole workout is meant to be done with household items. You don't need weights. All you need to do is find something that fits what you can lift. 10 reps, that's all. Find something that you can lift 10 reps, 3 sets, and that's what we're looking for. Wait, well, yes, and then eating right's a completely different thing, but yes, and then do that. And then do that. Let me see here. Alright, so we're waiting for Dantastic should be on. The man of the hour should be on soon. Then our interview can start. How's it going, Bach? How are you feeling, my brother? Oh, you are not? Nope. You're good. Feeling good? I like to hear that. I like to hear that. You'll have to let me know tomorrow how you're feeling. How's it going, Floki? Yes. The eyeball emoji. Emote. The gawking emote. Now I just need to do something cool so people can do that. So they can use that emote. Yes, the Dom's effect. The Dom's effect is real. The late onset muscle soreness. It does not fuck around. Thank you for making that, Floki. We'll add it to the emotes here. Oh, don't worry. It will find its use. It will find its use. Make no mistake, my brother. There you go, Floki. The people have spoke. People have spoke. So make sure you guys, if you guys have any... Thank you, Queldin. And Twisty, welcome back to the chosen few, my sister. Let's go. Thank you, brother. I want it on a t-shirt. But the people have spoken. Smoking. The people have spoken. They might have spoken too. They might have done both. Can't have her unable to use emotes? Yeah, get yourself put in the doghouse, my brother. I don't want to be responsible for that. Outside of my jurisdiction. I may be the king, but I am not getting involved in that. That's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. Exactly. 100%. 100%. I do not deal with marital issues unless I need to. How's it going, Nelly? Welcome back to the kingdom. How have you been? How have you been? I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. Other than having to deal with whatever this is that I'm still dealing with, illness-wise, I'm great. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Where is the man of the hour at? Oh, he's online now. He's online now. We are just getting ready to interview a therapist. To ask him all hard-hitting questions regarding therapy, the stigmas behind it, the pros and cons. To my brothers and sisters, as I was saying earlier, make sure you guys have your questions ready. We will be answering chat questions. So make sure you have your questions ready. Any questions you have regarding therapy. He is a great person to speak to on the subject. He really is. Therapy gives me anxiety. Have you done it before, Nelly? Are you just speaking about the idea of therapy gives you anxiety? Yes, you have. Was it an experience that you had? Well, why am I? I'm not the one who should be. I'm not the one who's on the hot seat. If it gives you anxiety, maybe he can walk you through it. Maybe it was just the wrong therapist that you visited. Oh, okay, well that explains it then. That explains it then. Look at me, I'm a therapist, I figured it out. I'm just kidding. That's terrible. That sounds like a not good therapist. That sounds like a not good therapist. All right, so he is ready for us. He is ready for us. That sounds like a terrible, terrible therapist. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. That's shitty. That's not cool. All right, so I'm gonna get things ready here, my friends. I'm gonna play insert product here ad. Well, whatever ad. What ad do you guys want to watch? I'm gonna play an ad, and then when I return, we'll start the interview. We'll start the interview when I return. All right. All right. It's been said.
The king will return after this short message.
After a hard-fought battle, we Vikings need to clean off. There's only one product our kingdom uses to have the finest hair in all of the land. What do you have to say about that, my king?
My brothers and sisters, us Vikings, we like to get dirty. And as the king, there's only one product I trust to maintain the fairest hair in all of the land, and that is insert product here. Not only does this keep me clean, but it also leaves me with a scent that even the finest shield maiden in all of the land cannot resist. Use insert product here and become a Viking. Smell like the king.
Use insert product here. Smell, feel, and look like a Viking.
Is that good? Is that a wrap? I don't want to shoot another one. I'm getting thirsty. Where's the ale around here? Do we have any ale around here? Steve, where's my ale? Steve.
Please contact Steve to get your product featured in the kingdom. The life of a Viking can be dangerous and challenging. We farm, hunt, and fight. But most importantly, we drink. Our kingdom likes to ensure we have only the finest of ale for all our people. Let's ask our king more about it.
There are only two things us Vikings like more than the heat of battle. One of them is saying the word skull, and the other is enjoying an ice-cold ale after a hard-fought fight. That is why in my kingdom, there's only one product we trust to quench the thirst of all my people, and that is insert product here.
With all the vitamins and minerals needed to ensure optimal performance, insert product here is the only right choice. Don't believe me? Let's ask some of the people in the kingdom.
Insert product here is good.
I actually really like insert product here.
I would drink insert product here.
See how happy they are? Insert product here is meant to be drank anytime, anywhere. You can drink it close up. You can drink it with your pinky up, while you're taking a leak, and even when you're in the thick of battle. Doesn't that get you excited, my king?
Insert product here, the drink of my kingdom, and the only drink for the king. Skull. Skull. Steve, you fuck.
Insert product here. The drink of Vikings. Contact Steve to get your product featured in our kingdom.
All right. I'm ready. Let the fun begin. And just remember, when you guys are in need and you're wishing you just smelled like a Viking, insert product here. Ooh, that smells like the king. And when you're thirsty and you really wish that you could quench your thirst, insert product here. The drink of Vikings. Loki, I'll take a look at them in a second. We need to get this interview under wraps. We'll take a look at it as soon as the interview's done. All right. Let's do this. That's very kind of you, Nelly. We're working on it. We're working on it. It's very kind of you, though. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Give me 1 second, brother, all right?
No worries.
All right. So what we need to do is we're gonna come here. We're going to get rid of this because it's not doing the hour reckoning. Is there somewhere that you do you want to plug anything as far as like a Twitter nickname? What do you want anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of. I think it's all. I don't actually have anything set up except for my own private business, but we can always talk about something like that later on.
All right. Give me 1 second then. I'm doing some last minute fuckery here.
Hey, that's the best kind.
All right. Can everyone hear him fine? Can everyone hear him fine? We're going to mute the music.
Hello, everyone.
He's got the pen ready to go. He's ready to go. Welcome in, Sassy.
Pretty much.
All right, my friends. Here's a little introduction from my end, and then I'm gonna let him talk. Then give you guys a little bit of info about him as a person and who he is and what he does. So this is Dantastic here in the community in the kingdom. He goes by the username Dantastic. He's a relatively new member of our kingdom. One of the fun things about it is he's Australian, and he kind of came out of nowhere. He was over on Twitch. He came and followed us over here on Kick. He's been a very reoccurring member ever since then. I literally didn't know much about him. He came into our Discord call last Friday and started talking about therapy. Well, I guess we kind of put him on the spot, and we made the conversation about therapy. And the conversation was so interesting. And I think so many people can benefit from hearing what he has to say. I reached out and I said, hey, I would love to have you on the stream where it's a dedicated time frame where we can actually get into things and talk and actually see and hear from your perspective. So why don't you go ahead and kind of just give yourself an introduction?
Sure. I haven't got anything planned, but yeah. So my name is Dan. I am a trauma counselor in Australia. I've been working in this field for roughly 7-8 years or so. I've worked a lot in the domestic and sexual violence trauma sections. Oh, my audio's way out of sync. My apologies. I'll try to get that fixed. But as yeah, so my field is working with trauma and specifically when people are experiencing overwhelming emotions. My job, I like to say, is to help people take what's swimming around in their mind all the time, as we're constantly always over processing. I like to sort of bring it out in front of it, so it's a lot more easier to see and manage. Yeah, like overstimulation in the sense of overthinking, over analyzing, I guess. And I try to work in a way that helps people to put that into more easily digestible media or form. I was going to. The reason I've got my pen actually is I wanted to show down the line if one method of my working, if that came up in the discussion. But yeah, I think that's my introduction.
All right, fair enough. We're gonna do one thing really quick. So I'm gonna have you disconnect really quick, and it might have been from when I dragged you over here. That might fix the audio sync. So do not start your camera. Yeah, just leave and do not start your camera until you come back in. All right. We're gonna get him back in here. 1 second. All right, go ahead and give it a shot now.
Okay, how am I now?
Say a couple more things.
Hello, I like ponies, and my name is Princess Super Sparkle.
That looks way better. Way better. Way better. Awesome.
Awesome. Just don't listen to what I was saying. Yeah.
All right, so perfect. So guys, again, this is Dan. We're gonna, for you guys who are here, we're gonna get into chat questions and stuff like that. Again, he has chat pulled up right now, so he can kind of see everything here. I'm just gonna go through some very basic questions to kind of break the ice here, okay? When I was doing some thinking about what I wanted to ask you, I was doing some research on. I've never been to a therapist myself. I have a lot of people in my life who use therapy. I've never been myself. I've been told that I should do it just to experience it. I've never done it, so I was like, what do I ask a therapist? So I was doing some research, and some of the things that came up was interview questions that you get asked to become a therapist are some of the questions that I linked to. So like questions you should be asking your therapist before you like sign on with them and stuff like that.
I
As
see. Yeah.
somebody from my angle. Um, the first question we're gonna ask are, what are your strengths as a therapist? Like, what do you see yourself excelling at? Being able to listen, being able to, advise and help people cope with, the problems that they bring to you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna quit, like, hide the mute from my site because I can't do two things at
Yeah,
once.
that's
So
fine. That's
I just
fine.
want to have the video open so I can see you. Okay. I would say some of my strengths are probably quickly building a connection with people. I enjoy being able to um not like understand people from where they're coming from. Uh, there's some people think that the only way that you can help someone through something is if you've experienced it yourself. Um, I myself have experienced many things, but they're going to be different from my clients, and I think we sometimes have a bit of a thought that you need to be in a certain area to get someone out of that certain area. And I pride myself on being able to, you know, categorically never being able to be in that position. For instance, some of the women that I've worked with in the domestic violence zone, I can't be in that exact space as them. However, I can, connect with them, join with them, and build that empathy and to help facilitate that change. I think another one of my strengths is to not just have my clients. Well, sorry, I'll start that again. I think some therapists they try to have their clients work towards the framework that works for them. However, I like to use multiple different frameworks and go with what my clients need and work towards that. So I think that's something very important for anyone who is seeking a therapist to find someone who is um, flexible and doesn't just see the world through their own scope.
I think that's perfect. This is gonna kind of lead into the next question. So you kind of laid out what you're good at. Why did you want to become a therapist? Like, what was the thing in your life where it's like, you know what? Was it I'm good at this and I can relate to people and I think I have something to offer there, or was there something else that happened within your life where it's like, all right, this is what I want to do?
There's a few different answers there. Um, Going back to uh, so my earlier childhood was quite tricky. So it made me want to seek change for myself and other people. In high school, I almost just naturally came into that role of the therapist. Let's say if a high school couple, as they do when you're in the mature age of year nine, I would be the one helping, facilitate some of those conversations, which I had no idea what I was doing, but I was just going into that anyway. So it seems to be something I naturally go to. I did after I had finished school. I went to a. Oh, sorry. Just to preface, when I say school, I don't mean university. Um, we just mean high school. Sorry. So when I
Yep.
say I finished high school, um, so once I finished high school, not knowing what I wanted to do, worked in a bunch of different fields. Worked in retail, sales, uh, the mechanical industry, lots of different areas. Just trying to figure out where I'm meant to be. It certainly wasn't a this is who I am. This is where I fit in life. Certainly not. Um, and I even started doing uh, uh, a course in becoming a pharmacist, which just because I wanted to help people. So all these different things trickled down to the to where it landed me, which is to be a therapist, to help people um, to maybe go through things that I some things that I went through, and I didn't have anyone who helped me through it. So I wanted to be that person to help them through it, or at least be there for someone else. So that was my a bit of an abridged version of my lead up to it.
But I think that's like almost like a dream job, right? Because I got into personal training for that exact same reason. Was my passion in life is making a difference in people's lives. I worked with kids for 10 years, and I always found that through there, like helping, you know, showing them I mean, long-haired, bearded guy in a school district is always one of those like, who is this guy kind of thing. You know, to kind of teach them like, you know, you be your own person. That was always kind of my thing. I loved, you know, being different, but also being so similar and being relatable and stuff like that. But then I also found that passion when I started helping my friends train in the gym, being able to, you know, work with them and see them progress in the gym, see the smile on their face when they look in the mirror and they're like, this is who I've become, this is what I've overcome. And I also get that through streaming, you know, having this kingdom here, being able to entertain, having people come in here and say like, you know, I left this stream in a better mood than I was in before I came to it. Like that to me is a life well lived, you know. It's not always, yes, money is a big thing, right? But nothing feels better than helping somebody. Like that feeling, there's no monetary value that you can connect with that. It's a dopamine effect, and it's just so fulfilling to hit that. So what do you do outside of work that helps you maintain a healthy, well-balanced life?
Oh well, I do a lot of things. I absolutely love doing hobbies and stuff like that. So one thing I do as my commuter and for fun is ride a motorcycle. I enjoy creating things, doing arts. I mean, I've got if you looked at my space, I've got lots of colorful toys and this and that everywhere. It's just something I really enjoy to have. But yeah, I think a lot of it at the moment is video games, just because I don't have too much energy at the moment to and also it's went from ridiculously hot summer to torrential rains, so no real good middle ground to do things.
Can't ride a bike in the rain, right? I mean, I guess you could, but it's not the best idea. What kind of games do you play?
Oh, sorry, I've lost you.
Can you hear me? I muted myself. I said you can't ride a bike. You can't ride a bike in the rain. I apologize there. You can, but it's not advised to ride a motorcycle in the rain.
It's certainly not. However, I got my new bike last year, and it has a kind of traction control, which has 3 different levels. One is apparently for wet weather. I'm not going to test it, but it's good to know.
that works. That works. What was I going to say? What kind of games do you play? What's your niche?
Mostly, I'm a bit of a single player sort of person. At the moment, I'm using a lot of retro emulator games, which is just really something nice and good, nice and comforting to play those old games. I'm playing Zelda Twilight Princess at the moment. Also playing Titan Quests. Don't know if you remember that game.
I remember the
very
name of
similar
it.
to Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Greek mythology version of Diablo. And yeah, lots of just little random things. I wouldn't necessarily. I used to be a bit more of a gamer, but now I just kind of play it for a little bit of fun.
We're gonna go into our first. Do you play Terraria by any chance?
Yes, I do actually. I got it. Same with Minecraft. I bought it a long time ago, and I play it every couple of months or years. So whenever I go in, it's like, whoa, the hell! There's penguins in here now.
Yeah, a lot of changes.
So yeah, there's always changes. I think I got Minecraft when it was in its alpha stage. So that was, oh gosh, 2009 or something. Anyway, but yeah, no, Terraria. I do like that a lot.
All right, now this is the first chat question, all right? And I want to preface this by saying one of the reasons why I wanted to bring him on here, and I did not do my due diligence and figure out who this therapist was, so I apologize for not figuring out his name. Is one of the reasons why I brought him on here is because there is a market for um, therapy, not even necessarily like scheduled therapy, but like just advice given to people. I think one of the industries that is the most saturated with people who actually need mental help is streaming and content creation. I think so many
Yeah.
people in this industry are so lost in what they perceive reality to be and what it really is. It's so easy to get down on yourself. You're surrounded by toxic people everywhere. So one of the reasons why I wanted to bring him on is I wanted not only to hear what he has to say, but on top of that is I wanted to give him exposure to what he could build here. Again, this is our kingdom, my friends, and I'm always going to back every single one of you. I want to see you guys succeed. And if you know what, this sparks something for Dan here, and he's like, you know what, maybe I should give this a try. That's a win in my book. That's a win in my book. So the question that's coming your way is it's from Sass. She says, I'm sure he doesn't want 10 million online free clients. But do you ever talk to people online if they need advice?
Yes, I have. It's one of those things which I'm fairly good at being able to cut it off. But there have been times where I remember one a couple of months ago. I was on Twitch or something, and I was just in between clients, and one of the streamers was just having a a rough time, and I ended up just exchanging discords with her just to actually have a bit of a chat through what's sort of happening and say, hey, you know, I'm a therapist. You know, just it won't be a therapy session, but do you want to just do you need to have a talk? Do you need to have some yeah. So I've done that probably more than 5 times, I would say. But it's just something that I tend to fall into. However, I try to draw the line when I'm say hanging out with friends, or say like with my girlfriend. I'm not always a therapist. I'm
A human.
my outside self. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I think that's another thing as well, which what you mentioned before about the streamers thing. I think that sometimes when it comes to um I'm gonna say labels, but not in the sense that you might be thinking. Almost actually, it might be like character. Someone has a certain character or persona, and they might feel a bit of that ambiguity between them streaming and their outside life, and they might start to think of hang on, which one is actually me? Where do I where do I sit, and what happens if I have a few days off? Does that change something? And I think also that immediacy of the streaming environment as well can cause a lot of fear when it comes to our culture of what's uh which can feel quite combative at times. So I went off a little bit of a tangent there, sorry,
No,
but
no, I love that because if we weren't getting fielding chat questions, I really did plan to get into what your thoughts um about the streaming world, because like this guy that I keep talking about, he's been making it big off of interviewing these streamers like XQC, all these big streamers, and like really getting down to the nitty gritty and figuring out you know how they actually feel and stuff like that without having it be a therapy session. Just kind of like a
yeah.
let's just kind of talk about things, and then it ends up becoming a therapy session essentially.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he's
so
making
many of my conversations do that.
right, and that's good. I mean, that's one of the things that it makes you a professional is being able to not make. It's not that's not the proper word because you don't want to make somebody do. But you want somebody to feel
Mm.
comfortable that this is a conversation and that they can speak about what they want, and you're not going to judge it from a certain
Yeah.
perspective, right? It's making them feel comfortable. Um, yeah, so like I think that the way you put it is great. is having it be a conversation. And then once the conversation
Yeah.
opens up, then you can get into it. But you don't want to force yourself. Like the first, I know there was somebody in here
Yeah.
earlier who had a terrible experience with a therapist. And it's like, to me, it sounded like a therapist that came in right off the day one. It's like, all right, what's wrong with you? That was the first question that they asked,
Yeah.
rather than building into it and
Oh,
then finding out naturally.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I've also, when I was, as I sort of mentioned, when I was going through some stuff when I was in my uh, uh, early childhood stuff, there was one therapist that I recall seeing who was just, god awful. It was the kind of one where you would make you kind of go, oh, screw this profession. It's ridiculous. But instead, it made me want to go, okay, I'm going to be so much better than this person, not in an arrogant sort of way, but it's a that no, I do not, I don't want to be this guy. As weird as that as a
No, I
motivator.
hear you. Yeah,
I think,
100%.
yeah,
And it sounds like you're going about it in the right approach. So, all the more kudos to you. I know some of my
I
least.
try my best.
I mean, and that even goes like into the sales aspect of things. Like, salespeople, they have way more higher success rate if they're able to, you know, break down the wall before pitching. Right? You're able to make it
Yeah,
seem like
yeah,
it's just an average conversation. Um, it's, and I know that this has nothing to do with therapy, but you're able to break down, that wall that so many people have a tough time, um, you know, letting somebody break down that wall. You can go so much farther
yeah,
and so much deeper into things, rather than just bursting through the wall. The big difference between the two.
yeah. I totally agree, and there, I know when I was starting my journey, I started with a diploma in um it's called TAFE here. I can't think of what the acronym is, but tertiary to do something. Anyway, um, it's essentially between high school and university. You don't have to do it, but it's just one of those things. It has a lot of things, mostly for uh, more manual jobs, like get certificates and things and certificates and diplomas rather than degrees and masters and things like that. So I did my first counseling uh, diploma through its TAFE, and I was a little bit shocked to see that a lot of people went into therapies. Sorry, to do this therapist course, because they almost wanted a license to them being right. And I think some people who have been to not great therapists almost have seen people who are like that. So would say, I'm in this, I've got this, I studied this. You can take my advice, but the problem is, well, not the problem, but the thing is, we actually don't give advice. I've done this job for many years, but the thing is, once I meet someone new, I might have seen many similar situations, but I don't know that one person. I know something that has worked for 50 other people, but it might not work for them. It would be so easy for me to say, "Oh, your problem's simple. Just do this. Just do that." However, it's not about that. That is not what therapy is. It's about people being able to experience and learn from themselves. Um, and I think uh, some people want to have that give advice, be helpful mentality, but it's not really what we should be doing as counselors.
So I wanted to read this. I got another chat question for you, but I wanted to read this comment to
Of
you.
course.
Um, so Twisty says there are therapists who treat people like they need to be fixed. I see it all the time in my
Mm.
field of work. Thank the universe that not all therapists are that way. Do you see that through people in your field, that some of them look at it like the people that they meet with, they need to be fixed rather than everything that you've just been laying out?
Well, it really depends. I don't definitely no. I don't think anyone needs to be fixed. And I have worked, um, as I said before, I've worked with in domestic and sexual violence with both men and women. Um, young children who have experienced awful things, and not one of them is broken. They're not broken. There is a massive amount of hurt and pain, but they are not destroyed. They're not the ones that need to fix everything. Yes, it absolutely is our responsibility to work on that, even though it is the result of someone else. But I think that sometimes, I mean, it is true that we can only work with who is in the room, right? So sometimes I think people think of that as, okay, that just means we just have to fix your problems. But no, it's usually a whole systemic issue for that client. And when I say systemic, I mean in a micro level, not in a also, I mean, some might be societal, but often it's repeated patterns of thinking. Um, Often, let's say if I'm quite hostile to you when we just talk, buddy, like, then naturally you're going to be hostile towards me as we talk, and it's just going to be that sort of back and forth. And so yes, you need to change being hostile towards me, but at the same time, I need to stop being hostile towards you.
Right.
So it quite it can be hard to know where to sit. And I believe that some people might have the fear of going into therapy is because they're going to get blamed. They're going to get pointed out as they're the problem. And let's say if I never go to the doctor, means I'm never sick. But this person over here, they go to the doctor all the time. We might actually get unwell the same amount of times, but because they have that person is actively going to the doctor, we sort of mentally turn them into the identified patient, which is it's in a way a self-defense that if I don't see anyone about things that are affecting me, that means I'm not the problem. If you're the one who is taking, say, medication, if you're the one who is uh, going to see a therapist, that obviously means that you're the one that has the problem. And I think that can be a problem for people who both are going to therapy and also people who uh, should be going to therapy. I don't know if should be is the right word, but yeah.
They could benefit from it. We'll put it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah. Thank you for my translator.
All right, I don't know if that's a good thing, but all right, I'll take the compliment. All right, we got another chat question here. This one is, I believe, from Brunette. If I might be wrong here, it is from Brunette. Have you ever been overwhelmed with emotion while conducting a therapy session? Found it difficult to continue? I mean, you've talked about your work and what your specialty is. I'm sure that you've came across some stories that could very much make you emotional.
Absolutely. I mean, and I know from my tough exterior, I seem like a very you know, rough, macho sort of guy, but I'm actually quite a as you, of course, I'm a sensitive sort of guy. Um, but I actually I when I go into therapy sessions, I definitely go there and sit and be with the client. However, I've not felt that I can't continue. I haven't, and I'm not trying to deflect or anything, but I've not been brought to tears or anything like that. Nothing to do with the um oh, that you try harder to make me cry. It's like I've just personally, it's I sit with the client in that, and I understand that it is their journey, and I've certainly I haven't actually experienced um an outburst of sadness or anything. I've definitely felt after sessions frustration. I remember one time I was at home. This is when I was single, and I just got really angry as at a client's story, like they're the perpetrator of what happens, and just felt so much anger, and anger is so closely linked to a lack of control, because of course I couldn't fix that situation. They were no longer in that situation, but there was a lot of inner turmoil. But yeah, but having said that, I have been to one therapist. This was about 10 plus years ago. And that therapist, so I actually didn't cry, but my therapist did. So internally, which isn't what I should have been doing, but I was kind of like, it's what we all do at times. I was like, oh crap, I feel bad now that I made my therapist cry.
Right, right. All right, I'm gonna give you a something that somebody said in chat, and I want you to react to it. And then we got another question from chat. What did I just do? So this person says, that is one reason I don't go to a therapist. I really don't want to put my problems on another person. I definitely don't want anyone to feel sorry for me for the things that I've experienced. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely, and I think a lot of people feel that, and what you have to understand is this is what we want to do. This is our job. Like, it's not at all like the way it is happening isn't that you're like taking your load and putting it onto me, then I just have to carry it. That's not how it works. What it's doing is basically, um you're taking your load and I help you. We work together on resorting that to take out so much of the bulk, so much of that extra weight, so much of that dead weight to throw away, so you can actually walk away with that, feeling less more encumbered.
Perfect. I think that's like I've kind of felt that same way, not to that extent, but
Yeah,
there's been those thoughts that have come through my head where it's like, who am I to go to somebody else with my problems, and why should they have to deal
yeah,
with the things I go through? I'm gonna say
yeah, yeah.
for personally me, my biggest reason, and this is gonna come into a stigma here, and maybe I should wait bring this up. I'll wait to bring this up. I'm gonna write this down. Um,
Okay.
Here's another chat question. This was from Sess.
Just on that, just before
Yep,
going
go
to that
ahead.
next question, sorry. I think another extension on that last one was some people they feel like they need to get to a certain space before they should seek help. Like when they're in their lowest point, there's like, oh, I'll work on myself a little bit more, and then I'll get to that step, and then I'll get to. Um, so it's kind of like waiting until then, until then, until then. However, it's one of those things where this one metaphor came to me, which was, okay, that's all well and good, but you don't clean yourself before you get into the shower. It's almost what the therapy is for, to help you even when you are at that really low point. You don't have to get to a certain point to 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 make therapy, I suppose, worth it. It can be at multiple different times of your life. Sometimes when you're not in the thick of it, and sometimes when you're out of the rough zone, and and even if it just every now and again plays on your mind, it's absolutely okay to sort of break down and talk about. We all tend to get held down by like a tyranny of shoulds. Like, I should feel this, I shouldn't feel that, I should do this, I shouldn't do that, and that can actually really hold us down in our growth and development as people.
Very well put. All right, here we go. More chat questions. I got 3 lined up for you here. So, again, I
Oh,
don't
let's
know
do it.
what your time frame is, but whenever you have to go, you just let me know. All right. Like I said, I don't have anything else planned for the night. So,
Okay, I've got an
um,
hour, so.
okay, sounds good. Do you suggest any online therapist companies or organizations for those who can't go to one IRL?
Definitely, I would say. I mean, the thing is, it's not necessarily a company that has the best therapist. It's the individual. Studies have been shown that it's not the 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 modality of therapy which actually creates the biggest amount of change. It's actually the relationship you have with that counselor. So if it's someone who might be incredibly brilliant, but you just can't stand them, then it's not going to work out. However, for someone who may not be as classically trained or skilled, that person might be able to have more insight and more flexibility and more understanding of what's happening for you as a person. Um, I think one really good thing is to utilize online um, appointments and things like that. I was under the impression that doing face to face was the best. However, I also now do some online appointments. Some mostly in Australia, some overseas, just because my so this is my morning, so it kind of really works for the US and other parts of the world's time. So when they're obviously not at work, hey, I am. So yeah.
Right, right.
Um, I think also another thing to do is if you're wanting to check out a therapist, um, instead of booking an appointment, see if they would be open to having a 15-minute introductory call. Usually in that 15 minutes, and that 15 minutes shouldn't cost you anything. That 15 minutes is just an opportunity to sort of have a brief talk about what you might want help with, but then also getting to know each other as people. Because as I said, that is one of the biggest factors in creating positive change. You don't want someone who is just basically going to tell you that you're right or be combative or anything like that. It's about, hey, do I vibe with this person? Very similar to if you're um, at like a party or something like that, and you just talk to someone you don't know, and you pretty quickly know, oh yeah, I get along with this person. No, I don't. It's that same sort of thing. But don't meet your therapist at a bar.
No.
You could.
No, as somebody who came from a personal training back, somebody who's trained people for a long time, that is my biggest thing. Like even though it's a terrible sales technique because I'm basically selling my services to other people, I always say like, I have my way of like I'm adaptable, but I have my way of training, like my basic way of training. And we might not kick it off. That doesn't mean, however, that you're a lost cause and that you should lose hope in it.
Yeah.
It just might mean that we just aren't going to mesh well. So I used to give all my clients a free session, say, hey, let's just go through it. Vibe, if you feel like you're learning something, if you feel like, we can make a good match, because ultimately it's for you. It's not for me. Like, yes, I benefit from working with you. However, if you're not willing to commit to this, there's no reason for you to embark on this. And it is one of those things where it's like it has to be a match both ways, because I'm sure that you've come across people and you just can't stand them. Whether it's them not taking what you're saying seriously, it's a two-way match. Like, obviously it's more important for your client to like you than it is for you to like your client. However, it is a two-way thing, because you're not going to be offering your best. You're not going to be able to do your job at 100% if you're not vibing with the person.
Yeah, absolutely. It's totally true, and that actually leads on to another really great point that I forgot to mention is yes, sometimes people go to a therapist who wasn't the right therapist for them, and they think no, therapy isn't for me. And yeah, so they just kind of give up on it. They say no, I've tried it before, and they might have even tried it like a couple of times. Sure, but the thing is, that just same as what Buddy just said. It is exactly just it's you gel with some people and some you don't. Therapy can be for everyone, but it's not necessarily that everyone needs therapy as well.
Right. 100%. We're just gonna keep this train cooking down the tracks here. All right. So this was my question to you. Okay. And I think this is gonna be a good question for chat to hear, because the people here necessarily aren't going to think this because they have gotten to know me well enough. But I think like the average, I have to put on a persona for people that come into the channel, right? So this kind of leads into the stigma behind, the old-fashioned saying of men deal with their shit, in silence, and like they don't express how they're actually feeling, and that the age-old, belief of like men are supposed to be these tough people. and if you are to go to a therapist, like that shows. So like one of the big things I wanted to share with not only myself, because I also like to be reaffirmed in hearing it, but I think a great thing for not just my chat in the kingdom in general, but for everyone to hear is, let's take down that stigma. Let's get rid of that. Because if it's there, why not utilize it? Let's take advantage of the resources we have so that we can be better versions of ourselves. I guarantee you, there's men throughout history that if they could just have somebody to talk to, their life would have been more fulfilling, more successful, probably would have lived longer. I'm sure that all of those things would have coincided with each other. So, what are your thoughts behind that stigma?
Yeah, absolutely. It's still a massive thing, and I mean, if you of any sort of media, it has that the male hero is the strong silent type, might be uh funny but not the slapstick character. I think that's a massive thing. That there are different what we call schemas or personas or characters that we um can portray, and that sometimes is a shield. And I have some clients who previously have found a lot of anxiety when doing certain tasks. Let's say um, uh, one was a truck driver, and was extremely petrified of the very uh, uh, the very real thought of, what if I kill someone on the road, because statistically that is a not a high probability, but it is a probability there. And his way of dealing with that, because he did need the money, and trucks need to be a thing, was he actually found that there was a character that he would play for himself internally when he was feeling fear, because that particular character didn't have fear. And I think a lot of men, we're good at. I mean, that's why masked heroes and characters are such a big thing in our culture and our society, because we we can identify with uh, I suppose bravery being externalized. And I think that a lot of people, possibly who might be not necessarily even playing characters in a sense like a movie or a role, we sometimes do that to the point that we don't actually know who we personally are anymore. We might not know where the layer is between us and the character. Um, when doing that, one really important thing to look at is something that's called internal family systems, which talks about the different parts of us which make us who we are. Um, and the principles of it basically are that we're not just one being, um, not in necessarily a new agey sort of sense, but in a sense that there's many different parts of us which build one character. Think about when you've had conflicting thoughts, and logically that shouldn't happen, because if we're just one being, we should just always know what we're thinking at all times. But there are different parts of our minds which are in conflict of sorts, that are trying to um, have their way for one reason or another. Usually, it's for self protection or self preservation. Um, so sometimes when we have those parts of us which we don't know if they're truly us, or if it's a different part of us, if it's someone else, if it's something fake, it's about identifying that there are several different us's that make us.
But yeah, I agree. The con No, what you said about the contradicting, thoughts, like that is so true. Like if we were meant to be one thing, like we'd always be thinking that certain way, regardless of where we stand on the spectrum. we would always be thinking a certain thing, and that's not the way it is at all. There's always
Yeah,
things
no,
in your life,
definitely.
even multiple different situations where you're having contradicting thoughts on the scenario that you may find yourself in, the decisions you have to make in your life. Um, we're gonna go. This one. This one's an interesting question, and I would love to hear without getting too far into it. Have you ever had a psychopathic client that you felt was a danger to society? You might not even have to classify
Really,
them as that, but have you ever had a
no.
client that you found a danger to society?
Um, I can't give details at all. I did work um in a forensic program with people who have been diagnosed with severe mental health, who have done crimes, mostly murder, that they are now reintegrating into society because they had um committed these crimes whilst in a uh uh uh, uh in a psychosis state. Um, so I have actually worked with people who have directly, yes. Um, I have so working with that reintegration program, because it is quite a tricky thing, because they might have been in jail in a sort of mental health facility for a long time, and now reintegrating back in can be extremely challenging, not only for them but the people uh, around them. There's the layers of risk and things like that. Um, Externally, have I worked with a client who I feel has layers of psychopathy? Yes, yes, I have, and it's one of those ones where at the time I was like, "Huh, okay, this is something new. This is interesting," and I didn't know what to do. Um, and also because that wasn't a crime based thing, it was a, oh, this is interesting about this certain client. Could it be a thing? I don't know, I can't say. And so I went to my supervisor, who was my who's like the my uh supervisor of my practice. um not like a manager, yeah. So I went to her, and I asked, hey, there's this, and she gave me some really fantastic tips, and there was no worries working with him either. So
Well, I'm glad
yeah,
to hear
hopefully that
that.
answers the question.
I'm glad. I didn't expect you to go super in depth with that one, but it is always that's it's like the question that cops always get. Have you ever shot somebody before? That's kind of
Oh
the
yeah.
questions that come along with it. Um, Here's the next chat question. What are your thoughts on BetterHelp?
uh in what sense?
I don't remember who asked that, but the question was just vaguely thoughts on BetterHelp. I'm gonna assume
Yeah,
that it's like, what are your, do you think it is a good service? What are your thoughts on it? That sense?
I think there's a few different layers to it, because there have been some controversies with it in the past. Um, However, I think on one hand it is good, because it's a hub where people from, no matter where you are, if you've got an internet connection and a smartphone, you can access it. Even if you don't have a you actually, no, you wouldn't need a smartphone, but if you have access to the internet, you're able to seek therapy, even if it's call based, text based, or video based, which is fantastic. The downside to it is, of course, that there are parts which is, it's unvetted. The therapists that do work on it get paid um less than minimum wage. um and it's an accumulation of building, so it can have its ups and downs. I don't want to necessarily say it's either good or bad. It's good because it is providing some people um with therapeutic support, which is which is at their own time, which is at their own place. It's in that regard, it is good. It does take a lot of the stress out of. I'm guessing that sort of booking process. However, as for both clients and therapists, I think they would probably get more out of each session for the costs better. Like if I was recommending, I would say it's better to see a private therapist. Because then you have a lot more freedom over changing to who you want to work with. Also, because it's not subscription based, you can basically just call and say, yeah, no, I'm not working with this. However, yeah, I guess the thing with BetterHelp is you don't necessarily have to have that awkward conversation as well. You can always just cancel.
Right.
So yeah. But was there any more context on that question, or
No,
was
I
that
didn't.
kind
I
of-
didn't know about the rabbit hole that was BetterHelp, to be completely honest. So like, Chad has
Oh.
been talking about like the things behind it. I didn't know the reason why that was even brought up, but now I understand why it was brought up, because it sounds like it was a scam and that there was a lot of controversy around it due to people not actually
Yeah.
being certified and stuff like that. So
I think they have fixed that. However, some of their practices, which I think they were found to have um, have sold some. I don't know if it was like the in therapy notes, or it was just the application form to ads. That was a thing they did back in 2018, I believe, which they got fined for. And so yeah.
fair enough. I'm gonna ask you a question here, and I'm gonna go out of the tree of destiny really quick. So you have full reigns here. So this is
Watch out.
people with PTSD. Do you make them do homework? I don't know what this refers to, but my experience
Yeah,
is it's horrible to do homework. Go ahead.
All right. So enjoy watering the tree. I've got this.
Thank you. Get it done.
I'll do it. So it's actually a bit of an interesting topic when it comes to homework and therapy. Some people some therapists do like to give homework, some people don't. I personally don't like to give homework. Even like sheets, I don't personally like to give out, because the therapy itself often has a lot of because so many things get hit. You need to be able to walk away and digest things. Absolutely, it can be good to have some things where you can uh, practice during the week, or even just dwell on during the week. I will let my clients know that, say, kind of rarely, I'll say, okay, so your task for this week is, instead of trying to do something like, I need to fix this, I need to be something else, I need to this, that, to merely be more, just notice what's happening. So that just might be within your body. Are you noticing a certain feeling when certain situations arise? When you're feeling a certain emotion, is there a physical feeling that you have? I'll kind of talk more in that regards. So when I think a lot of people think of homework, it can transport them back to high school, which it's a, or primary school, whatever. It's here is this this task you have to do, and it's a real, like, it's a drain. Sometimes some therapists want to give you sheets that have things you actually draw out and write on. It's usually fairly basic stuff, but it still has that association. Another one is that does it what also for privacy, because if I'm giving you some sort of paperwork to do, there's always that fear, even if it might not have anything specific on there. There might be that apprehension of, well, hang on, what if someone else sees this? Or yeah.
I'm back.
Perfect.
Thank you for answering that.
Hey there.
Thank you for
It was perfectly answered. It was
Out of the park home run. Here we go. All right. So this isn't so much of a question as it is. I would like to hear your thinking process behind it. Okay. Um, why does a person reflect to the bad and dark times if they're doing really well?
Why does a person?
Why?
Sorry, can you say that once?
Why would a person have the urge to reflect to the dark and the bad times when they are doing really well?
Oh, right, okay. So let's just say, so, buddy, you and I are walking down a road, and there's all these happy, smiling faces. Then all of a sudden, we see one person scowling at us. Okay, who are you going to pay attention to?
All right, answer one more time. Sorry, I was responding. Go ahead. One more time. Well, I heard
Oh,
walking down the.
classic.
I heard walking down the street. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then white noise after that. Terrible. So you and I are walking down the road, right? We're just enjoying our day. Everyone is happy, smiling. It's all good. And then there's one person who has just like a mean look on their face, just like staring at you. Okay. Are you going to just go, whatever, and just keep walking, or are you kind of gonna, what's going on there? I'm gonna.
Oh, your instincts definitely to be like, what's going on. I mean, I feel like a lot of people nowadays would just keep walking, but I do feel like the instinct to address them is definitely there.
Yeah, and it might be well, hang on, what was going on there? What's happening? And the reason for that is it's a self-protection thing. You got to think of what's going on. What is this person going to do? Something? Is that they're going to try something? And sometimes we can find it hard to see the difference between a perceived and an actual threat. So what we do is our brains have a mind of their own, and what they will do is they're smart, but they're really fucking annoying as well, because what they like to do is they like to maladaptively keep us safe. So what they do is they keep reminding you of the things that have hurt, so that doesn't happen again. So you're cautious, and you're hyper aware of that happening again. So let's just say, how often do you just rest your hand on the stove top, or whatever you guys call it, the cooker top?
Never. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. because even if it's not hot, you know that it has been off for hours, days. You will go there, and you will just go, even if there's nothing there to it. Another one that's that we often like to talk of is the movie Jaws.
Yep.
So the big giant shark fucking eats everyone. Okay, so again, we're you and I we're swimming in the pool. We're having a great time. Music's playing on the speakers. It's all good. And then the theme from Jaws comes on. There isn't a shark in the pool. You know that. But your heart rate might start to elevate slightly. You might start to just look around a bit more. And it's a thing where your body is seeing those mental cues, which might not necessarily be linked, but it is linked to something else.
1 second here. One second.
So it is.
1 second. Hold the thought. This is very loud. Nobody's gonna be able to hear anything. Sorry. Thank you for the gifted sub, Squell. Welcome into the Kingdom Night Sec. All right, continue. Sorry about that.
Basically, it's about miscuing, and sometimes we see things as being larger than they are, because our bodies, what they want to do is to keep us safe. And the thing is, to keep us physically safe, it keeps our minds running and running and running. And so we then feel the wrong. We either don't understand the feeling, or we feel the wrong thing, and it just kind of basically blends in confusion. So what's the reason is that why we dwell on these sorts of things is it's a maladaptive way of our body trying to keep us safe from that thing. And going back to that thing we spoke about before, how we're made of different parts. It's not so much that we need to try to cut out that part of us which is affecting us, because a lot of us if you're having a bad thought, what's the logical thing to do? Stop having that bad thought, which of course doesn't stop it. It just keeps it going and pushes it further on. So it's more about finding a therapist and talking through what do you think that part of you is trying to do, and why is it it trying to do it in that way. Also, another part of this is that often the thoughts that we have and those uh, the scars on our heart that we have from that memory in that time, even though the majority of our lives could have been quite good, we dwell on those smaller sides. That part of our minds are almost stuck in time there as well. So it will kind of try to protect us as if we are the same age as that. That's why sometimes the the feeling of I need to deal with this, but I shut down and I withdraw and I go back to my bedroom, which is like, hang on, that's not a thing I do in my 30s. Like, but that is something that in my younger age, that might have been the strategy to keep me safe.
I think you answered that question beautifully. Like in all honesty, like uh defense mechanisms of the body. It's almost the same thing in like in lifting. Let's say you hurt yourself playing a sport or any of that, not even lifting, but like athletics
Yeah,
in general.
yeah.
Like you're always anytime that you go and you're making that same movement, even
Excuse me.
though oh, you're good. Even though you might
Like,
have gone through all the proper, rehab and everything, and it might be stronger than it was prior. Anytime you make that movement that injured yourself in the past, it's always going to go through your mind. Even if it's a
yeah,
distance thing, it's going to come back through your mind. No, I think that was
yeah,
amazing answer to that question. I hope I don't remember who asked that, but I hope that gave you a good explanation for that.
yeah. I think also another thing is in science, energy takes the path of least resistance, and sometimes we will mentally do that as well. So let's just say, if I have a fear of a certain rejection, let's say in this community in the kingdom here, I'm let's say I'm terrified of being pushed away, being ostracized, something like that. Um, what I might do is if I see a couple of people, even jokingly start to make some jokes about, oh, screw off back to upside down land, I might start to be like, but if my fear is that will happen, I will sometimes tell myself that this is completely happening when maybe it's just like a tiny little bit. Maybe one person is doesn't like me or something of that nature. So sometimes we will go to the conclusion that we don't want because if it ran to the conclusion that I feel like it could get to on its own, that would hurt so much more.
Right. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
great explanation. This one is going to go a little bit deeper as we come into the end of your time. What, you got about 10 more minutes?
Oh, here we go. I've got about. Oh, give me one moment. Sorry, I'll just have a
No,
quick
you're good.
squeeze. Yeah, I've got about half hour.
Yep.
Good.
So how does someone that got beat for showing emotion learn to actually show emotions, not fake them and tell themselves that they are a man?
A mem? Sorry.
So let me read that one more time at the end. So I'm going to read through the whole thing. How does someone that got beat for showing emotions learn to actually show emotions and not fake them and tell themselves that they are a man? So basically putting on fake emotions and basically telling themselves, I'm a man because I'm putting on fake emotions, masking
Oh,
everything.
I see. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So what that does is, generally when it comes to some sort of violence and whatnot, um, often it's seen as only one person in that family is allowed to show all emotions at all times. Often as men, we're allowed to see anger is generally more allowed to be experienced. That's it's not aggression isn't usually what people like, but we're allowed to see anger. That's a normal sort of thing. And for some women, it's certain things, but anger is not allowed. Sadness, yes, that's allowed. Fear, yes, that's allowed. Anger, no, that's stuff like that. So what happens is when someone's brought up in an environment like that, they usually with an inconsistent caregiver, usually they will develop a hyper awareness for other people's um, uh, physical presentations in emotions, rather than uh, being able to sort of develop their own, because there's a lack of a sense of safety with that. Um, I would say a way to work with that is to talk about where you feel your feelings, because it's not a uh, it might seem basic. I'm just going to show you something really quick. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
So here's what I prepared earlier. So in uh uh my some of my sessions, I like to just have this as a bit of a drawing block. And for whoever asked that question, could I get you to draw this extremely accurate representation of a person? I know
Beautiful.
it's amazing, right?
Yeah, damn right it is.
They've got the 80 shoulder pads, by the way. Um, so if they can get some colors, and actually everyone is allowed to join along if they would like, and everyone's answers are going to be different. So this is one exercise that that I like to do with people of all ages, and it helps people to understand themselves in a way that they've not necessarily had a chance to do it before, and it's not something super deep either. What I want everyone to do, if they've drawn this down, or they can do it in a different way, can I get you to write down in this color, or whatever color they choose for anger, and I want you to think about where when you have anger, where do you physically feel that? Not what happens, like not not like, say, punching things or hitting things. Where does it actually manifest and sit in your body though? Where does that happen? Some people it happens in the chest, some people possibly in the shoulders, some people in the neck, or some people in the head. And once you do that with, let's say, a and do the same, and just kind of color in. Let's just say with anger, let's just say I feel it here, in my neck a bit, and a little bit in my chest, right? And then sadness, let's say I feel that one in my stomach. I get a lump in my throat, um, and we'll then move to,
Right.
say,
You made a nice face with eyebrows and eyes and lips and
it,
everything. Good for you.
it's a beautiful
Sorry.
face, and I feel fear, like that. There we go.
Perfect. Perfect.
So it basically is a way to look at different ways, because this is often something that we've not ever thought about. We don't think about where we physically feel something. It's often feel angry, feel this, or feel that. And let's say if there was fear, sadness, then let's go happiness. Let's say I feel that here, I feel it here, let's say. And I usually put in a bit of uh, a not a random one, but a trump card in the end, and I just say, and this is what I'm feeling might be what's sort of happening, um, for this in particular. And let's say if it feels there, and what happens with these different emotions? Do they become overwhelmed? Is all the feeling just being overwhelmed because there's not a particular way or channel for them to feel it? And is it just a I'm wondering if it might be just if any of these emotions are felt to be so unsafe that even the thought of experiencing them creates fear. It creates a feeling of overwhelmness.
I got the
That's-
question. The follow up to that is, what if you don't feel though?
Well, you certainly would feel. It's just they're probably all pushing through that one channel of overwhelmed. Um, so often when people are to the point where they're just like feeling so numb that they don't feel anything because feeling is not safe. Um, it's almost like whenever there is a form of emotion, it's seen as potentially dangerous. Another one to do, excuse me, is looking at order. So order is being everything is completely set for you. There's no change. It's it's everything is absolutely out of your control and completely just set as it is. And on this side, there's chaos where there's no planning. Everything is random. It can be quite scary, but both of them. Neither are necessarily good nor bad, and we need a bit of both in our lives. But generally, when someone has experienced this, they've been under a caregiver, which very quickly goes from one very far end of the spectrum to the other, then very far back, then very far back again, and it's constant like that. So what's happening is there is not a sense of stability or safety there, and because we're supposed to live in this, because let's say order is it's good to have your own somewhere stable to live. It's good to have 3 meals a day. It's good to have this. It's good to have that. But then also on the other side of chaos, it's good to sometimes go on holiday to have different things to do, other parts of our life. So this is actually good. But the thing is, what it sounds like is this one person. And if this is going too deep, I'm happy to sort of stop. I might be going a bit too far in.
He sounds like
But,
he sounds like he's willing. I mean, I have not read his next comment yet, so I'm sure that this is not too deep. Go ahead.
Okay. So it sounds like this is what this person might be so used to. So it's so hard to know what they are feeling internally. So therefore, once they're out of that situation, right, and they're now living by themselves, logically you'd think, okay, then this would just calm down to just being here. However, it's almost like if you've been on a rocky boat on a windy day.
Are you trying to show something right now? By the way.
Oh my god, yes.
I was gonna ask that sooner, but you kept going back and forth. Okay, gotcha.
My apologies.
No, you're good.
So I'm so sorry. So this is the order here, and this is the chaos. And what I was getting at, thank you for letting me know, is they usually had a caregiver who is constantly going from one to here to here to here, back and forth, really quickly. So so order of you have to do everything what I say at my time, and then there's another which is something completely that you couldn't have predicted that they should. You should have done this. You should have done that. Why didn't you anticipate what I wanted, what my needs were? And so because it was so back and forth, sometimes there would be care, and then sometimes there'd be no care. Things like that. It can create a lot of foundational instability in the sense that I don't know where I sit. So at any moment, something could switch. It could switch straight back there. And like when a rocky water on a rocky boat on a windy day, you after a while you get your sea legs, and that just becomes normal. You're a Viking, you'd know. you get the you get your sea legs, you get to have that that it becomes normal, right? But the thing is, once we get out onto dry land, where it can take so long, especially when it's in these foundational years, our boat is still, our legs are still rocking, even though we've been off this boat for a long time. And we can almost feel like we're so, at any moment, because there has been this history of instability, that we could just immediately fall back in there.
I think that's
So
beautiful
that's
summed
one.
up.
Thank you.
Eh,
So yeah, that's one way how it sort of explains that part.
Uh,
Sorry,
if I-
cut you off there.
no. I found stability in madness. Mount Floki. God damn it. So kind of one of the last things I wanted to ask, as far as this goes, as we wind in here towards the end of this, so what if you could give, you know, I know that you said not everyone needs therapy, but everyone could essentially benefit from it in some form of the fashion. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, it's one of those things where there's where I mean we are complete people, but there's no one's journey has ever ended. I think that it's a that it's a bit of an old saying that, or an old feeling, that we need to get to a certain point, then you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And once you're in that certain space of your life that you're not going to change anymore, that's when you've done it. However, honestly, every one of us, we're always still growing. Neuroplasticity and different neuroscience proves that you can teach an old dog new tricks. It's a state of mind. So there's it comes to, as I was saying before, where none of us are a complete, none of us are a finished product, I'll say. And every one of us, doesn't matter if you're 15 years old, doesn't matter if you're 90, we can all learn, we can all grow. And there's still a point to it. There still is so much that we can do, and that we can grow from. And also, if we, oh, I should have done this, 10 years ago, I should have done this 15 years ago. It doesn't matter. It's you know, we're all constantly growing, and if you get benefit from it now in the time, it will benefit your life. It will benefit yours and others, I guess. So, just trying to recap your question, is there any particular message I would say? Is that I think, be open to the idea. I've certainly challenged myself in doing this. I mean, the particular fields that I work in, which are trauma, and DV and whatnot, these are fields that are classically, they don't hire men for, and I have worked in all female workspaces with primarily just female clients as well, and young people. So it's not about I suppose finding a space and sticking to it. It's about constantly growing. It's about being able to step outside of yourself and help others. And by that, it's helping yourself. I don't know if that made sense. I felt like I went off the rails there.
No. Like I think it's perfect, and I wanted to give you some. I don't know if you still have chat up, but again, wait, I'm just gonna read off a couple of the compliments here. We have, like, Dan could be my therapist. This is making me want to go get therapy. Very therapeutic. Nice work, Dan. I mean, again, a bit. I wanted to learn more from you, and it's great to always get to bring chat into the spotlight. Like, I have a platform, right? And if I can give my platform to other people, then it's going to benefit everyone that comes and watch this stream. I consider that a huge win. So not only did I want to hear what you had to say because that relates to me, but I feel like I hope, and by the sounds of it, people from this chat can take something from it, and they can, maybe today we changed a couple lives here in the chat, and I don't want this to be, maybe if it's just like a 1 month every single month you come on and we do like a little update and we do it again. There's other things that we could do with it too. If you ever want to make something out of it, let me know. We could work something out. And if you want to, do, I'm gonna right after the stream's done, not the stream, but right after we're done here, I'm gonna go find the video, the guy that I'm talking about. I'm gonna send it to you. You can watch it over. Maybe this can explore a completely new path for you. That I know you have your own practice and stuff, but I do think that the online therapy thing, you're a very relatable person. You're very well spoken. You're very knowledgeable in the subject. And if you can expand outside of, you in your office, and you can maybe give yourself 2 hours of time online to, book those days that are, less booked than normal. I would love to, help you do that. And whether that's through appearances here, whether that's through helping you make your own YouTube, Kick, whatever it may be. Yeah, I mean, you just let me know, and I'll fire on all burners for it. So,
Thank you. That's much appreciated. I don't actually know what I'm going to be doing because I've only just started my private practice a few months ago now, so I'm just still building it up. But I think I'm also at that stage where I can sort of decide. I don't know if I'm super great on camera or on interviews, but I'm always willing to experiment and try. And yeah, if anyone in the chat has any thoughts, suggestions, what I might be good at catering towards, or if they would like me to do monthly check-ins, I'd love to.
And one of these days you can put me on the hot seat and you can figure out what's wrong with me.
Oh,
I don't know if the kingdom could handle that. But no,
we'll get our stuff.
In all honesty, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Chat, this is Dantastic here in the chat when he comes by. Again, I am honored to have him here with us tonight. Thank you so much for doing. Well, I guess it's midday for you, but night for most of us here. We hope you have a wonderful day at work, and we're very appreciative of you for taking some time to come here and speak on behalf of therapy, the stigmas behind it, and everything that came around. I feel like I learned a lot, and I'm sure that chat got to learn some things from it. And again, we're very appreciative. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, you have a great Tuesday, my friend. And we'll keep in touch. All right.
Thanks so much.
All right, Skull.
See everyone. See ya. Bye.
All right, my brothers and sisters. Let's give it up for Dan. Let's give one last round of skulls in chat for that great interview. I think that was wonderful. I'm very appreciative that he did that. I hope that you guys enjoyed that you guys had fun with that. Yeah, great dude. Has a lot to offer. Thank you so much, my brother, if you're watching right now. Honestly, it means a lot. Thank you. So I think what we're gonna try to do is I think weekly is a little bit too much, but we're gonna try to bring him back on the stream for that kind of specific thing every month. I think that would be great. Every month people in the kingdom change, and again, the idea behind what we're doing here, guys, is if we can help people get in a better headspace, if this stream puts you in a better headspace, hearing him talk puts you in a better, that's a win, right? This is our kingdom, my friends, and if we can spread, happy thoughts, happy mindset, the Viking way, that's a win in my book. That's a win in my book. Knight, thank you for the follow, by the way. I didn't get to say that sorry, I was pretty quiet during it. Tech Bro, thank you. Anyone else who followed, I appreciate that very much. No health without mental health, that's correct. There's more to health than just physical. Mental, there's emotional. So much more to it. So much more to it. And since we have so many people here, I do want to reiterate, guys, in 3 days and 16 hours and 49 minutes, we have our 1 year streaming anniversary here on Kick. We'll be partying all night long. As you can see up here, our hour of reckoning, we will be graced with the likes of Professor Stock. It should be a very good interview that we have going on Friday, guys. Make sure you mark the calendars. Make sure you have enough ale in your house. Make sure you're ready. Alright, get to sleep, Brunette. Thank you for stopping by, my sister. Skull. How's it going, Humbler? How's everyone else doing tonight? Again, we didn't get much of a chance to chat during the interview, but how are you guys doing tonight? Are we feeling good? Time for a drink? I agree, although I'm all out. Tomorrow we'll have to restock. We'll have to restock tomorrow. Big support for our shield maidens? Goddamn right. Goddamn right. That was a fun interview, guys. I had a lot of fun with that. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, so what did you do, Davey? You blew out the engine light? As in, like, you fixed the problem by reaching 100 miles an hour? Is that what did I interpret that right? Did I interpret that right? Jesus fucking Christ. I had to water the tree of destiny again. I'm dying, guys. I'm dying. I had to try so hard. I shouldn't have drank ale, because I would have been fine if I wasn't drinking ale. But I started to drink ale, and that was a bad idea. I'm gonna water the tree of destiny really quick, and we'll get back to the flow of things. I'll be right back. I will lead you to ultimate glory. You will be part of something that has never been seen before. You can mark my word. Mark it now. Clip this. Hold me to it. Hold me to it. It has been 8 months since our kingdom was formed on Kick. In this time, we have grown from a mere idea to a kingdom of 1,500 strong. As I look back upon the year that started our journey, I am left with feelings of gratitude, pride, and accomplishment. With every skull, with every rat gem, with every story, with every bad hammer, with every workout, with every new friend. You, my brothers and sisters, this community, what our kingdom has become, is what I am most proud of. I have repeated this message many times. There can be no king in a kingdom with no people.
What is this game?
Let us raise our meat horns high. A toast to the year that was 2023. And a toast to the journeys that lie ahead in 2024. Skull. I am back. I am back. Nightsec, if you're heading out, my brother, thank you for the follow. Welcome into the kingdom. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. I changed the oil plugs and put fuel treatment in, hammered it up to 100 tonight, and rode for a few miles. Stopped the water of the tree halfway, great idea. And was off when I turned it back on. Was so happy. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Woo. Another question is what do we do now? What do we do now? It's at that point where it's too late to do anything, but it's still early. It's too late to do anything, but it's too early. Pizza, wings, and ale? I don't have any of those things right now. I don't have any of that. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me, Floki. That troll emote. He doesn't have chubby enough of cheeks, though. He doesn't have chubby enough of cheeks. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's have some fun. Well, okay, I do like the first one you sent. It made me laugh. No, the troll, you know, it's funny. That's what I imagine half the trolls look like. Like I said, we have so many fucking emote slots to fill up. So many emote slots to fill up. We have like, so we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only have 6 more subscriber emotes. But we might move a couple of them to we might move a couple of them to non-subscriber emotes. Some of them aren't gonna make the cut. Some of them won't make the cut. But we have a fuck ton. I think that's 10, 20, 25. We have like 32 emotes to fill in that are just regular channel emotes. So we'll plug them. We'll plug them. So Davey wants to have some fun because he has meetings tomorrow. So what you're saying is I should drink this 99 bottles peppermint, is what you're saying. Did I tell you my card numbers got stolen? You did not. Where'd they get stolen from? I guess you could tell I like them. Rebecca, I'm not getting rid of any of my emotes. You will have option to them all. Option to them all. Every single one of them. You think it was in Hawaii? As in when you were in Hawaii? Or you think it was somebody from Hawaii? What do you guys think we should do for Friday? Should it be a long Should it be a long stream? As in like the second I wake up, we stream. Because we got our workout to do on Friday. Drugs? God damn it, no. I have to make it all night. I can't do drugs. Also, I don't want to subject chat to that. Even though you guys would probably love it. Uber in San Francisco tipped me off. Yeah, that's a pretty good reason to be tipped off. Dogs BRB. No, not you guys can take drugs. I don't care. Go for it. The king needs to be in a decent mindset until at least the hour of reckoning is done. Once the hour of reckoning is done, all bets are off. All bets are off at that point. All bets are off at that point. Then we can do whatever. 80s cartoon trivia party. I'm gonna lose. That's not fair. It's not fair. I'm gonna lose. Although I think everyone else here would do really well with that. Just kind of sus. Just a little bit sus. Scrap, you would win an 80s cartoon trivia party? You think so? 80s drug trivia. What the hell is wrong with you guys? The best cartoons were birthed in the 80s? Where's the statistical factuality behind that? Now the real question is were our cartoons here in America different than the cartoons in England? That's the real question. That's the real question. That's the real question. We watched most of yours, but you haven't lived if you have not seen Batfink, Danger Mouse, or Fragile Rock. Not only have I not seen them, I've never heard of them. Apparently Davey has. Other 80 cartoon fanatics. Alright. There we go. Did I say fragile? I'm an 80s kid, I know. Come on guys, that was before my time. Piss off. Piss off. Hey, you guys are crazy. No, not 89. I'm a 90s kid, full and through. Full and through. Scraplet, are you still feeling very confident? It looks like you might be amidst other cartoon fanatics of the 80s. Are you still feeling confident that you're more knowledgeable than all of them? Alright guys, we're gonna cut the stream over on YouTube. I'm sick of listening to non-copyright shit. YouTube, you bore me. Bore me, YouTube. YouTube guys, you can find us here at kick.com/yourbuddy, or you can continue to watch over on Twitch at twitch.com/yourbuddy. Take your pick. If you do not pick kick, then that's fine. My friends over on YouTube, until we meet again.